Oh, there we go. Alright. I was pressing the wrong button. Hello, I'm back. And it hasn't been a billion years. How crazy is that? So my last video was my name change one. I said I was going to be doing a gender care video. And I've been to my first appointment. So I thought, why not do it now, you know? I haven't just been to my first appointment. It was on Wednesday the 29th and it is now the 1st. So, you know, it's been a few days. I kind of touched on how to go about the gender care route of transitioning. I'm not going to go over it again in this video, but yeah, any questions, just leave a comment and I'll answer it as best as I can. So I booked my appointment with Dr. Dundas. It was £250 for the initial assessment. I had to wait a few months between booking and actually going, but I've been. It's an hour and a half appointment, the initial one, and you do spend pretty much an hour and a half in there with him, which is fine because he is so nice. He is one of the loveliest people I've met, and he's just so chill. Like, I'm quite an awkward person and I don't particularly like talking about personal things with people that I don't know, which, you know, go figure, I have a YouTube channel. But yeah, he's so nice and he wants to help, so, you know, that's why he's there. And yeah, he's good, he's nice. I strongly recommend going and seeing him if you decide to go down the gender care route. I know obviously he's not going to be the choice for everyone because they're not going to want the same things as me, and that's totally fine, but I recommend him 100%. So a quick rundown of kind of what happens in that appointment. You go in to this big fancy building. I'll put a clip of it here because I took a small clip of me arriving there. You go in, you wait in the waiting room, he comes downstairs, he gets you, you go upstairs, you go into like this, essentially a study type room. It's not like a doctor's office, it's not like a counsellor's office, it's really bright and open. He's got bookshelves, you know, it's a really comfortable space to be sat in. It's not an awkward place to be. I'm going to try and remember as much as I can. It's not going to be in order of of our actual conversation, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't remember half of it. I got so excited at the end of it that I've just kind of, some of it I'm just not going to remember. He just wants to know about you and about where you want to be and how you want to transition and like how far and what you want from it. He obviously cannot prescribe anything. He is not a medical doctor. He is a doctor of psychology. So he cannot give any medical advice. He won't look at any of your your blood work or anything. It's nothing to him. There's no point. He won't do any of that. He'll just refer you to someone else after him for the medical side of everything. Some questions that he asked that I feel like I should maybe give a heads up about, because he gave me a heads up about, and I know that sometimes it can throw a few people off guard. Questions that he needs to ask are things like if you smoke, if you do drugs, if you drink. All three of those for me is no. Like, I occasionally drink but not really, so it's not really a problem. What you want from your hormone therapy, in my case testosterone, so like what things I'm hoping to get from it. Obviously some people will go in and be like, I want a giant beard, and you know, some people will be like, I want my voice to break, and other people, they'll just want the general feeling of being themselves, which was the case for me. I don't really care if I grow a beard that much. I just want to feel like who I am inside. Anything that you're worried about with T, so I know that obviously some people are worried about losing their hair. The only thing that I said was the potential of becoming slightly aggressive and angrier, but he said that honestly he didn't want to invalidate anyone's experience with being on T, but it's such a small amount of people that get that extra bit of like aggression, and usually it's not the tea, but because the tea makes you feel more, it's other things, and it kind of just all builds up and explodes, and that's why people tend to get more aggressive or angrier quicker. But some people will just, tea will chill them out completely, so it's not really something to be worried about. Another question that he asks is about your living situation, whether you are somewhere that is accepting and stable, which, you know, is a big deal. If you're going to start a medical transition, you kind of need to be somewhere comfortable and where you don't feel like you're constantly on edge. And unfortunately, some people don't have that support and don't have a constant roof over their head, and it sucks. I am extremely fortunate to have the living situation that I do and the family and friends around me that I do, so I take that for granted a lot, but that made me realise like how important it is. What else did he ask? About how long you've been out, like how long you've had your name changed for. Not that that means you're out, but like it's one of those things that he can put in his report to send off to other doctors. And how you came out, so if all of your family knows, if you're in touch with your family, other halves, if they know and are supportive, and you've discussed in detail some of the things that can change while on T. One of the questions that I wasn't expecting was whether I've ever been physically or sexually abused. In my case, very luckily again, I haven't. But it's one of those questions that he has to ask, not because he thinks that that is the reason for your gender dysphoria, but because once you've started your transition, some of the dysphoria and problems that you have now might not disappear and may even feel like they've escalated and become worse. It means that they can put in the support that you need. And then he kind of just asked the general question of what gender means to you and how you knew you were trans. All that kind of stuff is something that he wants to know about. He asks about sexuality as well, because obviously that's something that can change while you're on hormone replacement. And then he talked me through, because obviously part of my dysphoria is my chest. That's the main part of my dysphoria. I don't have bottom dysphoria, and I'm aware that can change, especially once you're on hormones and there's growth and stuff. I know that it can change, but at the moment I don't. Menstruation and my chest are the main dysphoria points for me personally, and he reassured me that being on testosterone for a couple of months should completely stop them, and if there is any like spotting or continuation, to see a doctor, because it's not, obviously it's different for everyone, but it's not particularly normal for it to continue for so long, so you should see a doctor because there might be something else going on in the body. The T might be metabolizing too quickly, you might need a higher dose, you might need a lower dose, like, you know, a whole bunch of stuff can be happening, and to definitely see your doctor about it. And he briefly spoke me through the two different paths for top surgery, so whether I go private or through the NHS. And that's not something that I can really think about at the moment, because I am more focused on starting T and getting that going and waiting to find out what happens with the NHS because of, you know, Brexit and stuff. So I hope I can get it on the NHS and don't have to pay the private prices, but it is something that I am aware that I might have to save up for, and, you know, it's a big expense. But I also need to lose weight and get into shape before I can even really consider going for it. Not because doctors definitely won't see me and won't do it, but because I don't feel I'm in the right shape and the right mentality with my body for me to even think about having the surgery yet. So it's a big thing, and I have a lot of time before I need to really think about it. So yeah. But I really enjoyed that he spoke about both paths, because obviously he's not going to be like, I want you to spend thousands of pounds because I'm going to get part of that money, because he doesn't. He doesn't get the money from any surgeries. It's not something that he would profit from, and even if he did, he would still want to do it for the cheapest price possible for you, because he cares about his patients rather than seeing them as ATMs. But he also explained like the different route with the NHS, which I'm going to go over now. I haven't zoomed in. I think about right. Dr. Dundas was my first appointment. He wrote up a report that he will be sending to myself my GP, London Charing Cross GIC, which is who I'm currently on the waiting list for, and he will also be sending it on to Dr. Dundas he is Dr. Dundas, sending it on to Dr. Coxon in Brighton. The reason he's sending it on to Dr. Coxon is because he asked who I would like to go and see for the medical side of it. He only needed one appointment with me, then he sends off for me to start my medical transition, and he asked if I wanted London or Brighton. I said Brighton was fine, it was actually a little bit cheaper for me personally, and it's less stressful than London. He said that was fine, go to see Dr. Coxon, he will send on all the information. I just need to email Dr. Coxon about having a second appointment and going and seeing him. So I did that. I can actually read you the email that I sent him. Good morning. I had my initial assessment appointment with Dr. Dundas yesterday, 29th of May. He has told me that he will be forwarding my information onto you and that I should get in contact with you about a second appointment and hopefully getting a tea prescription. Please let me know if there is anything you need from me or if there is any issues. I look forward to hearing back from you. Many thanks. I got an automated, immediate response saying that he was on leave until the 3rd of June, apart from the morning of the 30th, which is when I emailed him, and he'll be trying to not respond to too many emails while he's on leave. He actually responded the exact same day that I emailed him, which, you know, is a surprise because I wasn't expecting it after I got the automated email. He said, "I'd be delighted to see you at the Nuffield Health Hospital in Brighton. Please contact the booking team on," and then the phone number, or email, then the email address. They will arrange an appointment for you. This needs to be a 60-minute slot for a first consultation with me. Just in case there are any cancellations and an appointment offered that would be too soon, to ensure I get a copy of your initial clinic letter and report. The appointment needs to be at least 3 weeks after your initial assessment with Dr. Dundas, who will confirm to me that your medical assessment with myself is the appropriate next step. If for any reason you cannot make a booked appointment, do please let us know as soon as possible so they can offer the appointment to someone else, which is fair enough. Would ideally like to see all of my blood test results before the consultation, if it's possible to email them, either send the documents or just send pictures of them. Failing that, he can review them at the time, try and check that all of the requested blood test results are included, because he's had a fair few people that have had some missing when they've sent them across. At the consultation, he will ask about my biological family's medical history. In particular, he would like to know about any family history of heart disease, so angina or heart attacks, stroke, blood clots in the legs or lungs, and breast cancer. He'll also ask about any medication that I take, whether it's a regular thing or as needed. There's no need to send the information about my family history or medication, just the blood test results. Looks forward to hopefully seeing me soon. I thought that was a very nice email, you know, very informative. It gave me hope that I was seeing them soon. I rang the number. I can't remember the lady who answered the phone, her name. She was very, very nice. I basically just rang up and said, "Hi, I had an email from Dr. Coxon about getting my appointment with him." And she goes, "Oh, okay, cool. Have you had any, is this going to be your first appointment?" "Yes." "Have you had any prior appointments with any other specialists?" "Yes, I had an appointment with Dr. Dundas." "Okay, awesome." She starts going through some stuff. She essentially has to register me, which is fine. So just needs, you know, my name, my date of birth, and my current GP, so that when I get my prescription for tea, they know who to contact and where, you know, that doctor is. She booked me in. My first appointment with Dr. Coxon, my second Gendercare appointment overall, will be on the 14th of September this year. So I'm looking at just over 3 months, which is long, but worth the wait. It's not as long as, you know, 24 months for the NHS, so it's pretty cool. My appointment, I believe, will be £250 again, because it's an initial assessment with Dr. Coxon. So if you want to donate to my PayPal, so that's that. I've got a second appointment already, and it's, you know, this year, which is amazing, and I am aware that if there is a cancellation there might be a possibility of me seeing him sooner, which is mind-blowing. I got my letter from the Nuffield hospital today with all of the information and some forms that I need to fill in to take to my appointment. Like, literally got it, when did I ring? I rang on Thursday. I got it 2 days after my phone call. So everything's pretty speedy. Another thing that I feel like I should mention is Dr. Dundas asks about any referrals to the NHS and such. And obviously I have a referral. I was put through for Charing Cross GIC back in January this year. Obviously it's a 24-month wait minimum to be seen there, so it would be January 2021 that I would be seen. However, because I have gone the private route with Dr. Dundas and Dr. Coxon, just Gendercare in general, once he has sent my report through to myself and my GP, I can book an appointment with my GP and explain to them that I'm going private for testosterone, and for them to contact the GIC in Charing Cross and let them know, so that when I do eventually get seen by Charing Cross, they don't have to do the initial assessment and then I don't have to wait for a second assessment for them to take over my testosterone. I can literally go straight in with a second appointment where they just take over the prescription of testosterone and refer me for top surgery. Now, because I don't have to wait for that initial first assessment, there is a possibility that I will be seen before January 2021, which would be amazing. Now, I'm not going to hold on to that and, you know, assume that I will be seen before then, because things happen. There is a lot of people waiting. I don't want to skip ahead of those people who are waiting for their initial assessment, those that can't afford Gendercare. It's not fair for me to jump ahead. But if I can be seen, then I'm gonna be seen. It is still a long waiting time, and it is frustrating, and it can be disheartening, but at the end of the day, it will all be worth it. So there will be a follow-up in September. When I have more updates to give, I will do it. It's all happening, and I'm very excited. So I will see you guys soon.